Okay guys, so in this video I'm going to share with you a simple tip that I use to clear my hips in the downswing. Now, clearing your hips in the downswing is a really important thing for your sequencing. So I meet a lot of golfers that try and turn in the downswing and they do things like this, and then what happens is they end up either just swinging massively over the top, or they end up just sort of getting the complete sequence wrong and they just feel really stuck. You know, they try and turn and then they feel like their arms are here. We're not looking for that. So the question is, well, you know, how do we stop those things from happening? And the answer is very much in the lower body. So if I sort of place this golf club across my shoulders and I demonstrate a downswing rotation where I allow my upper body and my lower body to rotate, should we say at the same sort of degree of rotation or the same rate of rotation, so they both move together the same way, then what happens is that my shoulders end up getting too flat. Now this time, if I let my lower body lead a little bit, so see the way that my hips start to move first, if you know, known as a separation, then can you see the way it produces more of a tilt, which basically means that my right shoulder drops down. So if I do it towards you guys, this is the incorrect motion, this is the correct motion. So you can see as I let my lower body lead, it produces more of a tilt, which means I can drop my right shoulder down. Now, learning this type of motion, and share this with all my students, and getting the feeling of your belt buckle pointing towards the target produces this tilt, which clears the hips correctly. Now, there's a couple of things that you do need to do. The first thing that's important is when I'm talking about separation in the downswing, we're not talking about, like, you know, just moving the lower body. You do want to kind of allow your upper body to rotate as well, but a really good indication is, like I say, is just think about getting your belt buckle towards the target, because your chest would never be able to get that far across anyway, not as you're hitting the golf ball, because obviously if my chest moved like so, I'd end up missing it. So by thinking just simply about belt buckle towards the target produces this really nice tilting motion, and what it does is it therefore gives you this ability to learn how to turn and drop the shoulder down. And all of a sudden, once you can get that sort of feeling and you kind of practice those sort of drills, then you're going to learn how to trigger a rotation and avoid these sort of over the top sort of tendencies. So just practice that sort of drill. It's what I always encourage my students to do. And then just get the feeling of the lower body buoying more towards the target, particularly that belt buckle. And then when you head down to the range, just play around with it and just make sure when you're doing it, let your upper leg face towards the target as well. Combining both of those is a real trick that's going to make clearing the hips so much easier. I'll see you soon.